Hi guys, welcome to another review video at OnWheelsTV. Yesterday we released a small footage of this car, trying to give you a hint on what we were going to release later, and so here it is. United Racing Design has been showing photos of a possible new car for a new EGT mod 2018 season, and they allowed us, they contacted us and allowed us to test this car, and this is the Detroit, which will be part of an endurance racing mod by United Racing Design for rFactor 2. There's not a lot of info available at this moment, but of course United Racing Design gave us some clues on what this is, and there will be a group of cars, mainly GTE cars, in this mod, along with this Detroit car. There may be also some prototypes. They are thinking about it, but one thing is for sure, they will only release cars that do not collide with the content soon to be released by Studio 397 regarding sports cars. So the GTE cars they will be releasing in this mod will not be the same cars that Studio 397 is going to include in their soon to be released new DLC, which is great because the idea is that these cars from United Racing Design can race along with the cars from Studio 397, and that they work in terms of balance of performance, which is great news for all of you guys, fans of rFactor 2 and also users of the sim for racing endurance events, GTE events, sprint events with these cars, but mainly guys that are familiar and enjoy racing with sports cars. So this we tested at this track, which is Road Atlanta, can be also named Petit Le Mans. We are not going to mention who released this track because the video is about United Racing Design, but I can assure you that this track is really interesting. You can find it on Steam in case you want to download. So talking about the car, there are some pros and cons in this version, this work in progress version, and obviously we are going to name both of them. Although the content has been offered to us, that doesn't mean that we have to say only positive stuff about this. We could not do that anyway. So the pros, the car has amazing sounds, and the sound, I'm not going to tell you the name. United Racing Design allowed us to say the name, but in case I misread the message, I'm not going to tell you the name, but I'm just going to tell you that the guy in charge of the sounds of this car, and probably of the others that they will be preparing, is one of the best guys, if not the best, in terms of sound content for sim racing. He does release content for rFactor 2, also for Assetto Corsa, also for Automobilista. So this guy is really good in terms of the sounds. The name starts with an F, or the nickname if you prefer. Also, in terms of the physics, the guy that is in charge of the physics is also a reference in terms of physics development for sim racing. He has been working with some of the best content out there, and is also working with United Racing Design in this. Obviously, it's not the first time he works with United Racing Design. He's also one of the best guys in the business, but he has two names, so I'm not going to say the initials. I'm just going to tell you that he is really good. From what United Racing Design told us, there is another work in progress version getting prepared with some improvements, which is good. which is really good because the car is fantastic to drive. It has tremendous top speed. It's faster than the EGT cars that you already know from the Endurance Racing X and PX mod. So this car has more or less 10 to 15 kilometers per hour in terms of top speed that is higher than the one in the other EGT cars. But the car is still suffering in terms of the tires and in terms of the chassis handling overall, which obviously has to be because of the tires. So it's really difficult to control mainly the rear of the car. You lose the rear of this car really fast. In some corners of this track, we preferred like this corner here. We prefer to shift from second to third really quick without allowing the rev limiter to go high on the second gear, and this is one of the ways to avoid spinning or losing the rear in acceleration with this car. Also, it is suffering in this version from the brakes. So the brakes, you have to brake a lot earlier than you would with the other EGT cars, which means that this car, although it has top speed, it doesn't handle so good in terms of the cornering or preparing turns when braking. For instance, here we brake close to the 100-meter mark, and with the other EGT cars we brake closer to the 50-meter mark. So the car has more speed, which probably means it's allowed to brake earlier, but with the development of these cars and with the development of the mod compared to the previous version, the car should be able to carry more speed and brake later, because this is how it should work. So it is still suffering highly of its performance in cornering, in turning, and on braking also. The update they will be releasing for this work in progress version is specifically in terms of the physics and of the tires, so they are aware of the problems that this work in progress has at the moment, and they are working on it. And we couldn't expect it to be different because this is a release from United Racing Design. So when this goes to the public, this will be perfect because these guys are really of the best in the business. And when we imagine this content with the new DLC to be released by Studio 397, which by the way is doing tremendous quality work for rFactor 2, tremendous work, congratulations to them, then we will have another huge content to top the users rate in terms of racing on rFactor 2. The car has great sounds. The car is fun to drive. You can feel everything in this car. So all those qualities that we tend to remember when we are talking about United Racing Design's releases, all of them are here. And the physics, well, the car is tricky. The car has a lot of power. You have to really control the steering all the time. Because it's easy to lose it's really easy to lose the rear of this car, because also we were not using almost any traction control or stability control, so we were getting this as pure as it gets, or almost as pure as it gets, and this car has a lot of horsepower, and so it's really powerful on the rear, but we do believe that with the update they are preparing, the car will be a lot better. Anyway, you guys that are waiting for content from United Racing Design, you can expect that when this goes to the final version, when this is released for the sim, it will be perfect, as all of the content from United Racing Design is. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Please like the video if you did, and I hope to see you soon. Bye bye guys.